See, I am not at all with any of the faction called men or women, women or men. I don't claim that standpoint of, well, what would be awareness is beyond that, which is always this moment now, just being located of an experience that's happening. And so I'm coming very much from this kind of standpoint, why I rattle how I do. And I do feel it as extremely sensitive subject matter. Um, Only because there's not because I have a stigma at all, but I'm not free of observing. Like I said, I'm having an experience and I'm looking at it and I think, wow, well, this is okay. Being a woman is okay. And then, well, look at men, trip out on them. And not having a war, but to me, you're inside yourself and you're wondering, well, how do we continue playing games that continue to feel good, I guess, to put it generally, because I've always played well with, and now I'm in generally, let's talk about just people, but, men, boys, seem to be having a lot more fun, and now, setting myself aside, I'm just looking at it, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, so these guys are free, blah, blah, blah. That's a role play thing, maybe? That's what I'm just awareness looking at it. I didn't want to have anything to do with the constraints that are going on. And fine, that's great. But it's not looking like the children are coming, um, uh, getting any better than what I have come up with as far as myself as a child. So, God, I sound so fucking weird. Here I am, trapping myself again. Can I step away from the subject matter altogether? But what good would I be to the organism or the human species if I didn't leave something behind and say, well, scratch at this little bit, will you please? Um, Narcissism would come up, but I'm reducing that down. Say, would you please shut up? It's the mind we're talking about. It's that thing is blinding and thinks it's more real than anything else, and that's exactly what we're dealing with. Is somebody who thinks it's more real than being present and then getting something. Boy. I was just trying to erase some videos that I've already done. I'm with regards to posting all of these videos. I watch them later. I'm like, okay, so you're not doing this right, babe. You're still looking like the thing that you never wanted to look like, which is a woman or a man. What about that? Let's just say this problem of a polarity they can't just see that they have a common sense to surrender to, and that is reality. I talk about it sometimes. It's that space just outside your nose. Outer space, the final frontier. Not just for mankind, but apparently because of what we see happening. Just as a happening. It's just happening. That both men and women are born to the woman, out of the woman. The woman gives birth to both men and women. So one of them is not born into their own intelligence at all. That is the man. Don't fucking get on me now. Don't. Jesus, what's happening? Tell me what happened. Just looking at this math and seeing, okay, so that's true. And so does that ever happen? Well, now aside with what I am struggling with over here as a micro managing machine, my own life. Um, Sam Vaknin, psychologists are saying, well, no, this is how this coming to that. Well, first of all, narcissism is the man's disease, but no, I say it's the human's disease because of course they would point that out too. He says no, but in fact, since the 90s, women are very much, it's 50-50 now, they are narcissists too, and it just means that they have been pulled away successfully from their bodies. They never got it in, they never and so, but how does that happen? Born to dead women. These people can, and so when a woman, this is what Sam Vaknin says now. I'm going to put all kinds of Sam Vaknin videos around here. I'm going to stop this video because I'm getting trapped. Sensitive subject matter, and it's just looking like I'm biased and also prejudiced and also a hater and so frustrated and not getting along very well and frustrated and just can't have an orgasm. It's like, no, I can't. That's the thing. It's like, I like my orgasm. Don't steal it away. Overall, not good. If a man doesn't have his own intelligence, he's going to be jealous of a woman, especially her nature, which is just to prolong that shit. Of course, you want to prolong pleasure. You want to draw it out. That's the whole purpose of pleasure, really. I mean, it's just to. We're talking about just life, babe. See, this is something I feel like there is. Every time I bring it up, I feel like there is like an energetic cage around it, and it's like some. I hate to say it, woman, but was it also bearded Jesus over there, woman, or what was you? We don't know. What were you? Don't tell us you were gay. We already know that's happening. What if it was something else? It's not always just men that are struggling sexually. Glitching out to the point we just have to hang you up. It's not always about sex. Did you hear that knock? I'm on the right trip. It's hard to know if I should post these videos or not, but I'll get a cue that says no, keep going. This might be the only thing that saves humanity in about 25 years if you just call up this fucking very video and start piecing the puzzles together and say, oh, no. Look, more and more it said it like this, it said it like that. Sam Vaknin says you're not going to have any kind of human civilization if you're starting with a dead mother. And see, what I'm doing the stigma about right now is okay. So, but bad enough that the mother can be dead, even if she had her own freedom, sovereign, to access the intelligence of her entire body, which is including to trust what's happening there, and then just take notes. It's like, wow. And then, but even if you took notes, it doesn't matter. Your daughter, if you're a mother, is automatically getting that biological downput and how your instincts are with that and everything too. If you're just emotionally sensitive, they're picking up. They don't really need other much prodding and reform into intelligence, but men do. To keep stressing that, to say, look, this is what's going on. See, on top of but the possibility of there being a dead woman who is completely vacated of trusting her body. Now, boy, this is a huge subject matter. Talk about. I always think of this word subject. Now, let me subject you, because I was exposed to a woman. But this is out there. This is something that it wasn't just her that would confirm like something in me that would go this route and be able to tell you today, right now, that say, okay, so when everything about that they teach about a woman to have a kid over, like how to, especially in America, the medicine there, down to laying her on her back to have a child is wrong. The real way that a woman that's left alone and is empowered to her own body and consciousness, oftentimes she has it standing up. She also does a certain movement that comes tallying, like if you were to really look at what really happens, it's more often than not that this is what happens. And she does this spiral dance. It's this, if I was to do it for you now, it would be the most interesting, infinitely interesting thing you've ever fucking saw in your life. But a pregnant woman does it. She does it by the ocean. Now, a lot of women that are living at the ocean, they'll do it at the ocean. They'll do it in the water. So that's one of the ways. It's so different than a hospital over there, right? But so whatever is conducting a woman, we know Lilith, right? The one that was pushed off and they said, no, you don't have your orgasm or even your wave, whatever you want. No, some fucking thing just said, and she goes and goes hangs out with, I don't know, this really shady people, but still just enjoying life, saying, man, it's kind of another dimension she goes into, and looks, and the world turns into this amazing place that's governed on the fake woman religion and or dead woman religion. Um, Very vital what I'm pulling up and scratching at. To me, it's something, it's like, okay, so but relax, you're not biased, babe. This is the study going on. There's a plague on the planet. It's coming to a fucking head. How are we? What's the problem? You can go in through a certain place in the Death Star and just find it out. Don't be Luke. Regarding the human organism, there isn't anything that's going to come out of the sky and save them from any of this. They have to get their own intelligence on, baby. And um, it's out there, but it's being pushed back. It's being disrespected. Real men and women, if they're left, they are not acknowledged. It's a problem. We have blob over shape over there. It's like somebody's in shape, but then how dare you? We have the classic was with Greta. Greta was the accepted emotional response to have to all of your problems, as according to the national television station there, that would say this little girl is going to represent how you deal with all of these mounted up problems, how we communicate, and how we really just, how dare you, what is that? Well, how dare, what is the fucking, you guys are just pinning us with that because, can we get on the side of common sense first? What in reality is going on? Okay, first of all, ignore all the money makers over there. Whew! Insane. Interesting. It's fucking interesting, and it's just, it's right now we're on a free for all. If this information was ever to go viral or something, like it was just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, it'd be over 35 years. Who cares? It could turn viral. It could say, "Here it is. Look, here it is. The beginning of the end." Where what we needed to know is this, and I'm going to do my best to stay on top of some things. I have a cure. It's already been here. It's already been here. I play music, and I've been playing this one song for 25 years or so. And it's about the very liberation possible away from mind, which is talking about just what Christians love to talk about, which they don't know anything about anything. Rebirth, which is technically, that means that you have conquered that mind, which at a very early age you were set in there by a false system of punishment and reward, but eventually you need to be reborn. See, the way that these presences, especially the church or whatever, broadcasts to you in books or out, the way they take away your experience of the truth from you is to just tell you about it and say this is the way it is, and then make a movie or say, look, here's a first kiss, here's your sex, even here's food, here's blah blah blah. Why do they need to fucking advertise everything in creation that's happening? Don't we have it ingrained in us by now that a goddamn car is for sale out there, and maybe you want to go out there with your chunk of cash and go and fucking look at it? No, they got to keep advertising, and this one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and it's like the same shiny fucking bullshit and all this, and really it's like, did your injection work? Wow, are you fucking really salivating? I mean, is that much of an obsession? Of course it is! This is what fucking money is fucking conducting, man, and it's like, here, buy your, work this hard for all of your life to buy this car that's going to last 2.5 years.